Hello, hello everyone. Today, Srividya is not feeling well, so I will be hosting it. I'll be hosting the session. Okay. So let us start with our invocation. Let us start with the new one. Vivikta, can you read the new one?
Sure, sir. This is who I am. I'm talented, I'm energetic, I'm astonishing. I can do anything and everything. I talk, I care, I respect others. I see beauty in everything. I connect to hearts. I am driven by values. I'm driven by values. I celebrate others. I provide value to others. I take ownership in everything I do. I have freedom to make mistakes. I learn as I go. I am mad to make a difference. I love disruptive ideas. I make impossible things possible. I am strong to question the creation. I believe in dreaming big. If I do not dare to dream big, am I really living? Why be ordinary when I can be extraordinary? I should be driven by my goals, not by egos. I can do it, I will do it. I will not hope for the best. I will be the best. This is who I am.
వావ్! కష్టంగా ఉందా యుక్త చదవడానికి ఎలా?
అవునా?
If there are any mistakes in that or things need to be changed, go ahead and do it.
Sure,
That's
sir.
okay. So, thank you everyone for joining. Uh, this is a very good topic, the art of saying no. I wish, like everything else, I wish I had learned this at your age or even earlier. So, let us, start. Prasanna, when you said no, that's when we said, okay, this is a great topic. We should do it. And then you said just now, I decided never to say no again. So tell me why you felt that way, that you don't want to say no.
Sir, for a moment, I felt like that. I don't know why, but I felt like that, sir.
Okay, good. So I want each one, I want you to type in uh, the situations where you wanted to say no. And if couple, at least one of you should raise your hand and tell me with a situation where you would like to have said no, so that way we can talk while others are typing. Okay, Prasanna, go ahead. So tell me a situation where you would have liked to say no.
So, first thing, when I don't know anything about that, really I would like to say no. Secondly, when I don't like some things to do,
One second,
there I
1 second. uh, I have to take this. Sorry. Prasanna, go ahead.
secondly, sir, when I don't want to do anything,
Mm-hmm.
like suppose when I don't want to attend some class or some session,
Right.
then really I'll say I don't want to do no, I won't attend. Directly I'll say.
Okay.
Um, I don't want to make any excuses for saying no.
Okay.
Mm, silly reason, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll use Telugu.
Okay.
ఇంట్లో క్యాజువల్లీ సిబ్లింగ్స్ గొడవ పడుతూ ఉంటాం కదా సార్.
Yes.
దేర్ అంటే మేబీ ఇన్ దాట్ కేస్ ఐ మైట్ బి రాంగ్. కానీ ఏమంటారు తగ్గద్దు, రాంగ్ ఉన్నా కానీ నేను చెయ్యను. I know that I'm wrong, but still I'll say no, no, no. It becomes a huge issue, and అది డాడీ మమ్మీ దాకా వెళ్తుంది. Again, some lagging in that. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Nice. Thank
That's
you.
it,
Thank
sir.
you, Prasanna. Anyone else wants to describe a situation where you wanted to say no? Hostelers, I feel like you'll have a lot of times you wanted to say no.
Sir, is it something like I wish I would have said a no then in
Yeah.
that
I
situation,
mean,
sir?
many situations you just like, I wish I had said no. Instead, you'll, you don't say no, or you you go uh, any
Rather than
any.
rather
Yeah.
like I have this issue where like rather than describing it like a scene, particular specifically, I'll explain the whole thing where though I was feeling I might not be suitable for it, or I might not do a great job in it. Accepting that I will do a good job in it, or accepting that I'll deliver what I promised.
Right.
So there, I wish I should have been more firm in taking that task, and then and also like explain why am I not able to do that, like saying that strong no that I can't.
Yes. Okay. Try to come up with specific situations instead of general situations, because there is like an umpteen number of situations you should be able to think of. Okay, go ahead, Vivikta.
Sir,
And
అంటే
Ulhasi and Paddu, we need your thoughts about no also. So I'll be getting back to you. So please be prepared to tell
I'm
me.
listening. I'm listening. I will sure like to listen to them. I'll pitch in after some time for sure. Let me
Oh,
listen to them first. Otherwise their thoughts will stop flowing. So I think their thoughts. It is important for their thoughts to keep flowing for some time. Then
absolutely.
we will take a call on that.
Yeah, sure. So I will be calling on you both as well. So hey, go ahead, Vivikta.
Sir, అంటే అగైన్ this might be a general situation, but maybe promising to my mom that I will do this thing and not doing that when I know that I don't have time, but still I promise that just to make her feel good. Maybe I just promise that okay, I'll do that work and not doing it, and I can get scolded for that. So maybe those situations.
Okay. Dhanush?
Yeah, good evening and good morning, everyone. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
And I feel that when Valli is saying, I mean, the people around you are saying no and you are saying yes.
Okay.
When the people around you are saying uh, no and you are saying yes, is that also one kind of no? I mean, did you get, sir? Like, let me
I
explain
don't know.
again.
Can you have to give me an example, which because you're clearly saying a yes, I agree, or I'll do it. Then how is that a no? I want to understand that.
Like the people around us are you should do in this way only so that you will be better. So people are saying yes to you should do that, uh, and I am saying something like they are saying no for a situation, sir, you should not go in this way. So I will, and we are disagreeing with their voice, but we are saying yes for our voice. Is that also one kind of no?
I think I sort of understand what you're saying. Can you give me an example, specific example?
Like uh, in general,
No,
what
no,
I want
not
to say
general,
is
not general.
uh, let me choose my career, sir. The people around me are deciding that don't want to what I am choosing. They don't want me to choose in that way. What
Okay.
I'm thinking is I will choose this way only. So yes is my statement. Is that also one kind of no? That's what I'm asking.
No. Suppose that you want to be a farmer. Everyone is saying you should be a software engineer, and you are saying I want to be a farmer and I will be a farmer. Then no, that is not. That is like yes, in a very roundabout way saying no, but no, that is not what we are dealing with. That here, when here everyone is saying, uh, they want you to be a software engineer, and you don't want to be telling them. Oh, sorry. Uh, I think I completely confused myself right
Shravan,
now.
Shravan, can I interpret for him?
Go ahead.
I understood. I think this is the classical case of when our inner answer is no, but outside we are still saying yes. Right? Who's
Yes,
that?
ma'am.
Dhanush?
Yes,
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
I see that's what I've written in one sentence. I want to say no, but I'm still saying yes. So what you're saying outside is yes, it's a clear yes. Whether inside you want to say that or not, that is why I hold this session of how we can bring both on the same page. Your inner answer and outer answer can be on the same. That is the effort of this whole session.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll
Thank you,
just,
Sri. Go ahead.
yeah. Shravan, can I
Yeah, go
say
ahead,
this?
Patu.
Yeah. See, I think a couple of examples, will make it more clear to them in the sense that, so let's say, in a very simple way, if I have to explain it, I have something very personal to do. Maybe I have to prepare for my exams there tomorrow. Okay, I mean, I'm in the hostel. I have to prepare for my exam tomorrow. I'm very busy preparing, and I've not really done this thing. My mind says that I should focus for the next 8 hours. I've set myself an objective that I should not move out of the room for the next 6 to 8 hours and study. A very close friend of yours calls up and then says, boss, can you please come with me to this place? I have very urgent here. I have to purchase these new shirts, or whatever, some reason he's got. And he says, please, you have to accompany me. You are in a dilemma. You want to say no. Your heart says you should say no. But you feel that if you say no, he will be offended. He might, break off the friendship. You imagine so many things in your mind. This is something that happens every day. The
Yes.
problem that happens is you say yes, you go with him, you spend 4 hours or 8 hours with him, come back, and you're tired after that, this thing, you don't study, you do that. And then, you even, maybe, if this happens repeatedly, you start feeling, oh, what the hell, this guy is a nuisance here. Every time he calls me at the wrong time, you start developing feelings then. But all this happened, why? Simply because you just couldn't say no. It's a very simple thing. If you had said no, maybe he would have felt offended for about half an hour. Then he would have felt okay. He will call somebody else, some other friend, and he will probably continue his job. He will be happy. You will be happy. End of the day, nothing matters. But the problem comes with saying no. We are so much, we have several reasons within ourselves. We are compelled to say yes because we compel ourselves to say yes because we feel, oh, he should not be offended. Oh, this is also an opportunity we justify to ourselves that you're doing right, but actually you're doing wrong. This is a small example of a very small thing. But in the larger context of life, even maybe during the work, when quite often, people are working very seriously on a project, and just because you're very accommodative, your boss comes to you and says, hey, there's another new job that has come up. You take this also. I mean, I know that you're very tight already, but you take this. Sometimes you don't want to offend your boss. You start thinking about so many things, including your year-end appraisals. And then you tell him, okay, I'll take. And finally, what happens? You suffer. Your work suffers. Just because you're not able to say no, your work suffers. End of the year, for all he is the very same person. He might tell you, why did you accept that if you are not able to do it? You could have told me no in the beginning. These are the places where we are talking of, where you should say no, but I mean, where you should say no, but you said yes. I guess these situations come to everyone. No, maybe you will remember now many situations where this has happened to you.
Yes. Thank you, Paddu. And that is exactly what I want you to do: is look into your specific into your life and say, what is that situation? You'll find so many small situations, and if you start saying no, life becomes easy. So I want us to document those situations right now in the call. Okay. So Chandan, can you, what are your thoughts?
Yes, sir. Actually, like the way Paddu garu said, those are the real situation where regarding no we need to discuss. And my examples are just general. Uh, I usually want to say no to the lecturer when he gives assignment, and when he gives assignment, I know if I do that, he only will give 1 mark, and there is a 18 hours some X amount of time I used to invest on that, and I feel like he is not giving much value to me. And also the why I need to say yes is my friend request me, please do this assignment, you'll get at least 1 mark, and I'll need to say yes, I need to do this assignment, and again I'll be on the wrong track, which I don't want to do the assignment of getting 1 mark. And this will be the same case if I get the records from the lecturers.
Okay. So, first of all, I think we have gone to a more specific example finally. So you're saying in this particular situation, you're giving an example where you're saying, if you do these assignment, you would get 1 mark, which is 1 out of 100, right?
Yes.
So if you don't do it, you'll get a 0. So somehow one of your friends says, "Arey, let's do it," and then you'll do it, and you'll spend those extra 3 or 4 hours to do that, to get that 1 mark. Okay.
It will take my energy, sir, and if I invested on same energy in something else, I'll do some better tasks.
Right. Exactly. That is a good one. That is something. There are some economic terms also in that. I forgot the terms right now, but very good example. Thank you. So, any other examples? Deepthi, go ahead.
In my intern we used to have AC, sir, and there was a warmer place and there was a coldest place. Who comes first, they would occupy the warmer one, and who comes last, they would occupy the colder one. So one day, this girl she came late, and she asked. I was in the warmer place, so she was like, "Can I sit there?" I mean, she used to sit in the colder place every day. So I wanted to say no. Like, why should I take up the colder place? But then I felt sorry for her. I mean, I know I would freeze the whole day, but then I felt sorry for her and I couldn't say no. So that was one situation where I couldn't say no, which I can recollect right now.
Yes, that's a good example again. Yeah, Ulhasi?
What I think is that saying no or saying yes.
Can you speak a little louder, Ulhasi?
Yeah. When we want to say yes or when we want to say no, probably, your personality or your role, you know, actually decides that. For example, if you are a father and your child comes to you asking for a chocolate, right? In all probability, it is very easy for you to say no. But if the same thing, if your father asks, you will not have the same liberty of saying no. Or if your boss asks, not chocolate, but anything else, right?
Right. Right.
In the same way, suppose, if your son says that, I want to do something good, then you have you have an option of saying yes very quickly. Same thing if your father says that he is going to do something good, you will still say yes. Right? So I believe that depends on the situation. You have a conscious mind and you have a role. Based on that, you tend to say, yes and no. If your father says something which is very difficult to do, it's not very easy for you to say no. You will try to find ways of saying no. You may still say yes, but still start looking for, doing no. In negotiations, for example, this becomes very, very critical. If you are negotiating a contract, if you are negotiating with on any matter with somebody else, if
Right.
you say no, probably everything will stop. Your conversations will stop. So you still have to say yes there. But how do you say yes also matters.
Right.
You just have to say yes to the extent that you are keeping the door open for tomorrow saying something which is right. So I think it is not just the situation, but the role that you are playing at that point in time also makes a very, very important important aspect. For example, if I don't drink, and if my colleague or my friend or if my father comes and says, or even my son says that, why don't we have a glass of wine? You know, I may, if I'm convinced, I'll say yes. I don't want. It's easy for me to say also.
Yes. Yes.
But there could be situations where it will be difficult. You have a gang full of party around you. Everybody is doing that, and at that time you have to say no. It becomes difficult for you. At that time you get into saying yes because of the situation. So I think we need to look at these aspects also while looking at why what time we should say yes, what time we should say no. How do you say yes and no both at a given point in time based on the role that you have to play in the whole situation.
Right. This is actually something which we here you guys might for you maybe it's not a big thing. In US, thank you Ulhasti, thank you. In US, having a drink is a very common thing. It starts off most of the high schoolers, which is like when you are in 9th grade, by then only they start having a beer. So it's almost like if you don't have a beer, if you are like not part of the team, saying no is almost impossible here. So you have to ask yourself. So anyway, that we'll get to that later because I'm not sure that is very important for this group.
Yeah,
So
but
tell me,
Shravan, that's no
Right.
different in India now. It's no different in India. Maybe little, just a percentage may vary. In fact, I have to share even among women, my own peer group. I'm one of the very few girls who don't drink. Okay, so there's always pressure when I go with one group of girls that all of them drink. I'm the odd person in the gang. Among like 8 of us, 7 of them drink and I don't drink. So there was an issue. So at one point, I'm not a person who will take the pressure because I'm very clear what I want to do. So I was aware of the at what cost I'm saying no, and I said no. And as part of that, there was a couple of friendships I had to lose, which I was okay because what was important to me, I made a choice. I prioritize what is important, and we put it that way. A real example only. This is Very real example. So I think what I messaged also, it's the consciously we need to choose for a given situation, keeping in mind first ourselves, what's the impact on me on this, and the others around me, and then we have to take a call. Anyway, you will go through the whole thing. We are already jumping to the conclusion.
Right.
I'll let you
No,
go.
yeah, no, good.
There's a lot more we have to. I think I'm sure Shravan, you might have planned, but to ask what stops us from saying no, I think that's something we need to spend a lot of time on that. Each of them, I want all of them to share what really stops you from saying no.
Okay, we'll definitely get there.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead with your plan. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm making a note. 1 second, Geeta.
Shravan, yeah, okay. While
Yeah,
you're making the note, I can probably fill in the
yeah.
time.
Go ahead.
So I thought this is where sorry, I joined the conversation midway, but this was so much in my face when I got here, right? It's been a little over 6 months since I've been living here. So when I was new, I would visit friends, people in the apartments, and I love sweets. So I eat sweets, and then I say, okay, I'm not going to eat anymore. But then you go to people's places, they offer you sweets, they offer you chai, which is probably going to become your 10th cup of chai for the day. So I thought, oh, it is so hard to be disciplined, and especially when you're new to them, it's hard to say no, but we must say no. It is something we are putting in our bodies. So I don't know if there is a way we overcome that challenge. And the reason we don't say no is I didn't want to hurt them, Srividya. So, okay, I'm still getting to know these people by just bluntly saying no, please. And they put the sweets in the plate and just bring it to your mouth. So and saying no and shoving it back, it's rude, absolutely being stubborn. But I am okay now with being, I'm not being rude from my perspective, but I'm okay with saying no now. But it was very hard in the beginning. So I don't know if this is something all the children face too. But
Yeah, thank you, Geeta. I think these are definitely things which we should talk about, because this is a common, this is such a common thing that I think, at least I know that I've faced that many, many times, especially when you are a new son-in-law. Oh God, that doesn't even, anything you say is like no one even listens to you. So I'll tell you some later. Minagar, Ulhasi, do you want to say something? Your hand is raised, or did you happen to not put your hand down?
No, I think I did not put it down. Okay.
Okay, okay, good. Minaji?
Yeah, hi everyone. Just came in to listen to Geeta. Just got that what you said, Geeta. No, I was feeling that Geeta, probably you didn't get to saying no in the beginning because all of them were new to you and they didn't know you well as well. So you were a little careful. You were trying to build a relationship there, and you didn't want to start off on a wrong note. So once you're comfortable with them, then you can say no. They know you well, and they are you have sealed that friendship already. So now you can be free. That's my take on that.
true. Thank you.
And I think yes, you can say no where you are comfortable.
Thank you, Minagar.
Thank you.
Swapna?
Yes, sir. I would like to share when I said no. Like during admissions of inter, I got seat in government college. It is far away, like it is near to come up. So my parents have decided to join in Hyderabad in private college, but I said no. I will not join in private college. I will. I'm very interested to join in government college. Then I said no. It is very. It is hard to say no to my parents because uh, they are like if అంటే దూరంగా పంపియ్యరు కదా పిల్లల్ని సో అప్పుడు చాలా కష్టం అనిపించింది నో చెప్పడానికి. అండ్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, కానీ అప్పుడు నో చెప్పిన వెన్ ఐ సెడ్ నో I feel happy because I am going to the government college which I choose. And one more thing, I said no when I selected for RDC, but I didn't went that for the camp. So my opinion is, అంటే 2 సిచ్యువేషన్స్లో నేను నో చెప్పాను. ఒకటి, ఒక నో చెప్పినప్పుడు నాకు హ్యాపీనెస్ ఇచ్చింది, ఇంకో నో చెప్పినప్పుడు I get unhappy and sad. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nicely said. So, are all of you writing down, at least for your personal sake, all the situations where you wanted to say no? At least on in your diary or something. Keep writing all the places where you wanted to say no. Don't worry. See, first being aware that you want to say no gives you the freedom, at least gives you the choice to say no. Okay? So keep writing. It's very, very important. And anyone else wants to give? Go ahead, Shivani.
Yes, sir. Like when I went to hostel, like I was very new to hostel in my BTech. Like before that, I was studying here itself. But when I went to hostel, I just listened about seniors ragging like juniors and all, but I didn't experience that. So it was very new to me. And like slowly a few seniors came to our room one day, and they were like they were trying to ask our names, rule numbers, and everything. And then slowly they started asking us to entertain them, like doing some singing, dancing, drama, or something like that. At that time, I wanted to say no because I didn't like that. Like it is another other case where I myself go and entertain you, like if I want with my willing.
Right.
And it is another thing where they like not forcing, they just tell you have to do it and you have to do it. That's it. No more arguments or something like that. And ఏమైనా అంటే interactions అంటారు. So that time I felt that I had to tell, like I wanted to tell no, but నో అని చెప్పే వాళ్ళకి ఇంకా మళ్ళీ టార్గెట్ చేసేటోళ్ళు అనమాట. అంటే ఇంకా ఎక్కువ పని చెప్పేటోళ్ళు. సో at that time I wanted to tell no, but it didn't happen. So I thought that I should never do this to my juniors, and then I became a member of anti-ragging committee.
Okay, nice. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you. So,
Shravan, I have another question which I've shared it in the chat box. I think that's something I want everyone to, whenever you feel appropriate, to, what does that mean? Saying no means what to each of us? I think that's even more a deeper question we need to ask.
So, shall we start with that question or the previous question which you wanted me to ask you? What stops us from saying no?
No, first let's understand what does it mean to say no, then we'll go to what stops us from.
So, Srividya put a question in the chat. Please read. What exactly does it mean to you to say no? What do you feel if you say no? If a friend came and said, hey, let's go and have a cup of tea, and you really don't want to go, then, but
no,
you want
Shravan,
to say
let me clarify. It's not about the feeling. Let me clarify. Saying no means what? What does that mean to you? It's a very simple question. No need any further. What does it mean to you? Saying no means what? Simple. I would like all of you to answer that question.
So one of the things I know is when I say no, I feel like I am hurting the other person.
Okay.
Is that
good? Yeah, that's okay. Whatever. Saying no means what? Saying no means hurting someone is your interpretation of saying no.
Yes.
Okay. Each of you can
So
go
anyone
ahead.
else?
Either type it in the chat box or unmute and say.
So according to Nivi, right, root. Okay, Dhanush, go ahead. Type it in the chat box. That's more better. That way everyone can read, it will be there for some time. Go ahead, Dhanush.
Yes, sir. My heart is saying something and what I am doing against of it. So I want to do what my heart is saying. That is the situation where I feel I should say no. That's all about it. I want to go with my heart.
But you're not going with your heart.
Yeah, on those situations I want to say no.
Okay. So what does it mean to you to say no? So one is rude, and the other thing is I said unwillingness to do something, to reject something, which is controlling my emotions and making me mad. It means I'll be happy, but I'm making others unhappy. It means I'm hurting someone. Yes. So, Srividya, is there anything else you wanted to get out of this?
No, this is good. See, a lot more is coming. Let's wait. All of them. Okay. It's very interesting. Let it come up. People are typing in. Let it come. See how interestingly it's coming. Affecting future tasks or give them a bad opinion on me. There's so many things. Saying no means so much for each one of us. Interesting. Go on. Geeta, is it what you want to do or what you're supposed to do?
No, so when I say no to somebody or to something, I'm simply not doing what I don't want to do, right?
Okay.
That's what it means to me.
Okay. See how it's breaking the bond between us. Wow. According to me, saying no means being myself comfortable regardless what others think about me. It means I'm offensive. I always want to be considered good or nice. I do not want to change that image. Wow. Interesting. Thank you for all of you being so honest.
Yes.
I am stubborn. Very
Go ahead, Deepak.
Well, saying no to me means comfort. Well, actually, let me share why I'm saying no is comfort. So, like before coming to BTech, I was an introvert, like totally hardcore introvert. So, like my day, like how my daily routine would be. I wake up in the morning, get fresh up, eat, and go to college, attend classes, then come back home, study, eat, and sleep. That's it. So sometimes like either my family members or like my friends would ask me like dude, let's go out. We'll go somewhere. Like we'll drink a cup of tea or we'll go to a movie or something like that. Well, there are like totally they're not my routine, and like anything that involved socializing, that really scared me a lot. So I used to say no, like literally to everything. I used to say no. So like, in my opinion, saying no means comfort. But it all changed on a few situations where I said yes, and where. So when I said yes, my routine, monotonic life, it became like a bit of adventure. It became kind of adventurous on that day.
Okay.
So, can I share one?
Go ahead.
One
Go ahead.
such situation. So, like, it happened when I was in 9th standard. So, like, we were having unit 3 exams, and that day in the afternoon, it was maths exam. So, lunch break was over, and it was cauliflower curry that day, and I didn't really liked it. సో లైక్ మా పిన్ వచ్చింది అనమాట, అంటే లైక్ ఫీ కట్టడానికి. లైక్ మా మమ్మీ కొంచెం బిజీ ఉండే. సో వచ్చి కట్టిన తర్వాత లైక్ షీ కాల్ మీ డౌన్ టు గివ్ ద రిసిప్ట్, అండ్ ఆఫ్టర్ షీ సెట్ బిర్యానీ తిందామా అని. అండ్ అది లైక్ ఇంకా హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ ఉంది ఎగ్జామ్కి, నో 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 అని చెప్పి అట్లా అన్నాను. పర్లేదు హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ కదా, ఇక్కడ పక్కనే రెస్టారెంట్ అని చెప్పి. సో there's just only half an hour before exam, and I went to restaurant and I ate biryani. So it was like a really wonderful experience. You know, one side the clock is ticking, I might get late to exam, and the other side I was eating biryani and I'm having such a good time.
Right. So good that you talked about the other side of no, saying yes. Nice.
Shravan,
Go ahead.
if you don't mind, I have a couple of series of these questions as a continuation. Is that okay with you? I'm intervening.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, because such interesting responses have come. I don't want to comment on it right now, but I've made a note of all these comments. We'll address this later, but I have a next question.
Go ahead. Type
Can
it.
I post it? Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
please.
It's someone, sorry, it is someone, not some.
When someone is okay, what does it mean when someone says no to you?
I want you to think honestly where others have said no, how you actually felt. Don't go by because when I say no, they'll get hurt. It should not be just a reflective of that. But be honest.
Suppose I say to my son, hey, can you get me some water?
Yeah, he says no.
He says no. That is like the first answer I'll get. That's the first response.
So what does that mean to you?
It irritates me.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously I try to figure. Since I know I am going to get a no, I don't even ask the question most of the time.
Let's say I'll say no to you, Shravan. You ask me something and I say no to you. What does that mean to you?
It has to be. I have to know the situation, right? So what is the situation you're saying no to me? If I'm asking you, hey, can you
I mean, I said no to you this morning. Okay, let's take today's scenario. I said no to you in the morning.
Yes. I was only thinking about your health. I was thinking, oh, okay, Srividya is not feeling well. I hope she gets well soon. I was only thinking how, I'm not in any way to help you. So that's all I was thinking. I knew we were going to be fine. So at that time, your no didn't really was not going to. I didn't feel it was going to affect me. So I was okay.
I mean, you didn't get hurt. You didn't. Any of those did not happen at all.
Nothing at all.
Yes.
I was more, as I told you, I was more worried, thinking, "Hurry, how is Srividya? That's all I was thinking."
Correct. And like many of you, like Padmanabhan sir, also is saying, immediately it is feeling bad, but in a while we start understanding the reason.
Yes.
That moment you may feel.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah, go ahead. And I want many of you again respond.
Yeah, okay. So I felt that it depends on who is telling no to you. If you're very
Who and
close to that
when
person
also, right?
and you are expecting a yes, then suppose I have gone to my boss and want to get some file cleared,
Mm.
and that file makes a lot of difference to my juniors. I'm the middle person, right? So it's very important for me to get a yes from him, because I have to go back and tell them I did it for you. But I get a no and come back, and I lose face. I lose their trust in me and their confidence in me, and I feel sort of I've done something wrong. So
Okay, let me pause here, Meena, and ask you. You feel all this, which is true. Which is true. We start feeling, okay, I'm going to let myself down. I'm going to, all that you said is very true. We all feel. But does it actually happen, or it is that feeling that it might happen?
it happens. According to me, it happens because once I am not able to get through a proposal, let's say, I mean, I'm talking of bigger things here. And the next time I go back to my juniors and I want them to put up something, we discuss, we decide, and then we put up to the higher up. And it won't have that same level of response from my juniors. I feel like that. I feel
Yeah, it's
like
a
I have
feeling.
seen it. I have seen it. Yeah, I know. I understand what you are talking of. Is it just my feeling, or is it really happens?
Is
It
it a
happens
real?
slowly over a period of time. If this repeats, of course. If the
If
no
it
and the
repeats.
negative, yeah. If it repeats,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah.
Underlying factor is if
So
it repeats.
yes, but the next time it becomes even more important for me to get a yes. You understand?
I agree, and also how we communicated back that what you did not get approval. How do you communicate? That makes a difference. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll
So
come
we
back
have
to
to
that.
sit down and find out. I mean, we have to frame our feedback.
Wow, Sahit, interesting. I'll think about myself and their priority. So that means I am not a priority for that person. Is that what you mean, Sahiti? Very interesting. Yeah, that's a good one. Very interesting. I'm
That
reading
is,
all the messages.
Srividya, what Meena garu said is right.
Correct.
Because what happens is when, especially in a team, when things don't, you are the, when things don't go, of course, it's all repetition, like you said. If it happens only once, it doesn't matter. Because as long as you are moving, I think when we give reasons to a no, I think it becomes even more harder.
More reasons to know. Sometimes, Shravan, it is possible to accept also. Like if I put myself in my boss's place, in his position, and think about it, maybe I'll get some acceptable answers why there was a no.
Right.
But more often than not, it's like we have already thought about it well, we discussed and all that. Then why is it there a no there? Yeah, and then like I said, who says no? My daughter, I got a dress for her recently, and she's refusing to take it to US. She says no. So I said, why? Take it, I got it for you. She says, no, mom, I don't wear it there. I don't need it. So they know how to say no very well. And we are the ones who have to adjust and quickly understand, okay, she makes sense. It was my fault to get it in the first place, something like that. They are able to put down their feet and say no.
Minagar, not every, I mean, I think that in that situation, I think your daughter is saying it. I don't know whether your daughter will say no in a company where, I mean, I hope she does, but in a company where she's working and she, like Padu gave an example, you were not there probably at that time. He said sometimes your boss gives you work and you want to say no. And if you don't say no, it becomes really
stressed out.
hard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. They cannot say no there.
Yeah, that is where you have to figure out how to say no sometimes.
Yes.
In fact, I will share many examples where I have said no to my bosses and yet not had any impact.
Great.
I was one of those very few people who could say no to boss and yet have not any reactions or negative impact on it. I think that's where I will. I may not share all of it to next week. I will share probably more of it. But yes, let's go with this thing. We should continue this introspection. I'll keep posting more questions like this, and we will not conclude anything today, but let people keep thinking on many other questions.
Geeta has raised her hand, by the way, Srividya.
Yeah. Geeta, go ahead.
Thank you, Meenaji. So I think Paddu actually made that comment, and Ulasji also made, right? It depends. A lot of times, it's the context. So there's not one answer for no. Is it okay to say no? And in Meenaji's example, like to your boss, it is your job to do that, and you keep saying no. You have to evaluate, why is that person saying no? Are they saying no just to defy you or whatever
Put
that
you
is?
down. Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
and there is a no where you're setting personal boundaries. That is different, right? I have to say no to something because I'm setting no to touching or whatever it is that no is for. So I think it depends is a big thing that tags along with that no.
Yes.
Totally agree, Geeta. Totally agree. I mean, that's what slowly now we are from generalization, we are getting into specific. Initial response, everybody was generalizing. It hurts and this happens. Now, slowly we started crystallizing, saying, yeah, it depends. It's not that always we get hurt or not always it's that. Very good. Very good. Yeah. I think Padmanabhan and Swapna wanted to say.
Yeah, just one point. I mean, first of all, I think this is going to this is going to take at least a couple more weeks to crystallize. Maybe it's a very wide topic. But having said that, see, on a personal friend, when it comes to friends, close people, that is where the dilemma occurs. Sometimes even there you have to learn to say no, but you cannot. Sometimes you feel it's an obligation at times, and sometimes you feel it's a need. I do not know, but officially I've not really found much of a difficulty really in saying no on an official perspective from that angle. See, because if you are sure that you cannot do it, I mean, my point is that, see, if I do take it up, for example, I'm already pressured with 2 projects, and my boss says you take up this third one also. If I say yes to that, I'll probably end up messing up all 3, and in the process, earning a worse name than if I were to say no to the third one and do the other 2 better. So to a certain extent, I've at least on an official this thing, I've learned to say no where it really matters, and I think that is important. But I also think that not all bosses take it in the right spirit. Quite a lot of them, think that it is their right to thrust things on people. That is where I think I've grown a little beyond that, but I certainly think that that is where the difference arises between a real boss and somebody who is more mature, perhaps. But on a personal front, I'm still a little awkward sometimes saying no. I mean, irrespective of the situation, maybe we go out of the way sometimes to please somebody or to oblige somebody. I do not know. This is where I am.
Thank you, Paddu. Thank you.
I think it's so nice. Thank you for being so honest and expressing the vulnerabilities. That's very important. Thank you.
Swapna? You're muted, Swapna, if you're talking.
Sorry, sir. Yes, sir. I would like to share one thing. Like sometimes I will create the situation. ఎలా అంటే ఎప్పుడైనా డాడీ సపోజ్ 2 బ్యాగ్స్ తెచ్చారనుకో, నేను అన్నయ్యతోటి ఎలాగైనా నో అని చెప్పేటట్లు నేను ఆ సిచ్యువేషన్ ని క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. అండ్ అన్నయ్య నో చెప్తే నాకు నచ్చేది నేను తీసుకుంటా అప్పుడు. సో అలా ఆ టైంలో నో చెప్పినప్పుడు ఐ విల్ ఫీల్ హ్యాపీ అన్నమాట. That's it.
Nice. Thank you, Swapna. you know, for, for, when my dad asks me to do something, it is so hard to say no. If I say no, he'll find 100 reasons on why I should say yes. It will go on and on and on to get a yes.
Shravan, your dad is a little exception.
Yes.
So let's not take
Maybe, I don't know.
exceptions as an example.
So
I mean, I know he's an exception, so I don't think we should bring exceptions to examples. No,
okay,
let's
then
not.
let us not bring exceptions then.
Yeah.
I thought maybe many parents are like that, but maybe not, I guess.
No, not all of them. I mean, any role for that matter, there are exceptions. So we'll deal with the exceptions a little later. We should deal that, make a note of it. How do we deal with the exceptions? But let's first address the whatever so-called normal.
Go ahead, Ullah.
Now, I'm trying to understand that's what's wrong in listening to a no.
There is nothing wrong.
So why should we be concerned about, if I'm sure if some no is coming to you, it's coming because of certain reason, right? The reason may be explained to you or may not be explained to you. And finally, it is you who is going to take the action in respect of that, right? For example, if like Padhu was saying that, there are two projects already going on, the third project is being thrust on. There could be, but somewhere, the situation is, I'm sure the way you are assessing the situation, the person who is there at that particular position, he also would be, equally competent to understand a situation of that kind.
Right.
If he's not, he's an incompetent person, right? So you need to deal with him in a different way. But generally, if the rationale prevails, I think the situations only will bring out the responses, yes or no. So therefore, if you hear a no, you need to understand how to deal with it and how to convert that into a yes. Right? And if you have to say no sometimes, then you have to be rational enough in saying that so that people understand how it is being said. So I feel that it is always situation driven. It is always based on the role that you are playing, and the reactions obviously will be there, and different kinds depending on the person and personalities. Somebody may even hit back to you if you say no, right?
Right.
And I've seen sometimes the subordinates becoming very arrogant and angry and even abusive, because they have not heard, they are not willing to accept that no that you are saying. Or it could be the other way also, right? The boss is becoming very arrogant in terms of that. But those are reactions, right? So if your personality, if your thought process is clear as to what is being done is right, appropriate at that point in time in the given situation, I think it doesn't matter.
Right.
You certainly can deal with it.
Right. Thank you, Ullah. Um, you know, I want to, for me, there is an example which I want to say is when I've always volunteered since 1991. And I go in there and someone will say, Shravan, can you do this? I can never say no. It is like I don't have time and I'll still say yes. And then I'll get mad at myself that why am I doing this? And so I have to somehow figure out how to get it done. And I obviously I don't do the best job I can. and I get so that is one of my, that is where I think I you know I did not really handle that well for a long time.
No, but the question is, if you had said, if you say that you have not done that job good because you said yes for something which you should have said no.
Yes,
But that doesn't mean that you could have done better if the time was available.
that's true. That's true. But the thing was, I really should have said no, Ulhashi. I had no time. And I was I was making a promise which was totally unnecessary. They would have found a way.
Agree with you. But, I mean, how do you say no?
I could have just
I think it makes sense because you are intending to say no for no. But if you had an option of saying no in a different way,
right,
and if you had exercised that, probably you would have overcome the situation. Maybe if you had said that okay, I will do it tomorrow, or if you say that okay, I will try to schedule something else which is already there with me and explore that possibility and do this. If you are not able to say no, I mean there are options. So so again, I don't think there is one answer to say no and then just finish with it.
Yes, I agree. So we have passed 1 hour. Shall we, Srividya, shall we move? Shall we do this next week?
Okay, sure. I was just typing one more question which can be discussed in the group too. No, I'll put it up in the group also.
So, yeah. What stops us from saying no?
That will come later. I have a couple of more questions.
Okay. So shall we go through one question, all of you, and then leave? How do you want to do it? Or shall we end the call right now?
I'll leave it to you.
I'm asking this young people, our young stars.
We will end the call, sir.
Okay. So let us, go ahead, put the question, and then we will, put the question in the transitions groups also. Thank you, Ulhasi.
Thank you, team.
Oh, is Srividya posting in the group? Are we all
I'll
leaving
post
or
in the group
hanging?
because we are going to log off here. No, I'll post it.
Okay. So we are logging off here. So everyone, thank you for being on the call and thank you for sharing the views.
I would like someone to save all these chat messages because they have very interesting responses.
Yes, ma'am. Copied, ma'am.
Go through them once more before next session.
All the messages were copied by me, ma'am. I will share with you soon.
Thank you, Tarun.
Actually, Tarun,
thank you all for your cooperation. Sorry for this last minute inconvenience. Shravan, thanks so much for pitching in.
No. Thank you.
But yet I couldn't stop myself from barging in.
Thank you, Padu. Vivita, you're saying something?
Sir, because this is a recording is going on, the messages are also saved in a Word document. So we'll share you that document, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Srividya, for taking the trouble.
Thank you. Thanks all.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Feel better soon, Srividya.
Yeah, I will be. I'll be next week. I'll be in my usual Josh energy.
Yeah. Bye.
Vivita, are you